It is a time of uncertainty in the Alpha Quadrant. With the destruction of the Hobus star in 2387 and the subsequent decimation of the Romulan Star Empire, the United Federation of Planets and the Klingon Empire stood as the last two remaining pillars in the quadrant. Seeing an opportunity to expand their territory, the Klingon Empire attacked systems in Romulan space with little resistance. A revealed infiltration of species 8472, now called the Undine, further enraged the Klingon bloodlust into invading the Gorn hegemony, where after conquering the territory, revealed Undine infiltrators in the highest levels of Gorn's government and military hierarchy. Meanwhile, the Federation, having tried unsuccessfully to negotiate an end to the Klingon-led conflicts, was now drawn into conflict with the Empire itself, and the long war had begun.
This is the point we have pinpointed in your timeline, sir. This is when you go back and give yourself this. You'll know what to say. You already heard yourself say it. It does not matter if it is not exactly right. The time stream will not be damaged. Just make sure that you give yourself this. It is our best hope for the future of the galaxy. You'll return to this exact point in time as soon as you have done what you need to do. The galaxy still needs your blade, Dahar Master. Are you prepared?
Welcome to Star Trek Online. You are the second officer aboard a Klingon bird of prey, currently in charge of the Night Watch. You are in command of the ship while Captain Jurlek and First Officer Duran are off duty. Your shift nears its end. Third Officer Lieutenant Kagan would like to have a word with you before you leave the bridge.
And as Michael Dorn said, welcome everyone to Let's Play Star Trek Online. As always, I am your host, J Square John Jeremy. I know you have questions already, so we'll take them piece by piece. First off, for the very first time, we will be playing...
People you can interact with have icons above their heads. You can press the interaction key, default F, to talk with them.
as a Klingon. That's right, we're going to be part of the Klingon Empire here. I've never done this before, not even off camera, so this will be a new experience for both you and me. Speaking of character, meet Dejan. This is our Klingon character here.
To move, use the W, A, S, and D keys. To look around, hold down the right mouse button and move your mouse.
I'm going to leave those pop-ups up only because of the fact that there may be viewers who have never played this game before, so they may be using this as a tutorial. If you are, welcome. Now, Dejan here is a member of the Klingon Empire. What's unique about Dejan is that he's actually a science officer. I know that you don't necessarily think Klingon and science go hand in hand, but he's not your typical Klingon. You see, Dejan here, while he understands the necessity of the way of the warrior as far as the Klingon code of ethics goes, he is concerned about the path that the Klingons are heading. He does not believe it's sustainable. He understands and desires to have the Klingon Empire prosper, but he feels that we need to, or at least the Empire, needs to take a closer look at the scientific aspects of its controlled territories. And that's pretty unique for a Klingon. Now, don't get me wrong, he can get his hands dirty. As you can see right there, he's ready to fight whenever you need him to. But he's also thoughtful. So that's kind of the background for Dejan. We are standing right now on the bridge of a Klingon Burrell bird of prey. And as you can see right here, the game wants us to speak to Lieutenant Kagan, who is the third officer of this ship, while we are currently the second officer. Before we do that, though, let's take a look here at the HUD. Now, let's start from the upper left-hand corner. Here we can see the fact that we are currently ranked as a warrior. This is basically your tutorial rank. Equates to cadet if you were playing on the Federation side. And once we pass this tutorial, will become a lieutenant and be able to gain ranks from there. As you can see right here, once we start gaining ranks, you can go from lieutenant to lieutenant commander to commander, captain. As you can see, the necessity to gaining skill points grows even further with each passing rank. Brigadier General, Major General, Lieutenant General, Klingon General, finally, Klingon Dahar Master. Speaking of Dahar Master, let's talk about that cutscene. What you saw there was the inclusion of the Delta recruitment storyline. And what it is, basically, it's two things. The actual storyline is that you from the future are going back to yourself in the past to warn your past self of an impending event. I don't want to spoil too much, but it's a nice inclusion of time travel into the game where the original storyline did not have it. The actual gamification of it, or the reasons behind it, is that the programmers, the developers, and producers of the game want you to play the game over with all the new content. And they've created this system of a Delta recruit. And by playing the game as a brand new character during this Delta recruitment time period, which is from, I believe, the beginning of April to the middle of May, you'll gain rewards for your entire account. Not just for a single character. So that's pretty nice. You can see in the right-hand side here, it says Global Delta Recruit. That's what the triangle means, Delta. And the current way you gain points as a Global Delta Recruit is by completing first-run missions. That means that any of your storyline missions, once you complete them, you'll unlock points to use here. Now, as you can see right here, that as you unlock your points, you can get bonus skill points, expertise, specialization points, and as you get higher tiers of these unlocks, you can increase the amount of the bonus you'll receive. Not a bad system per se. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing it in action. But all that's separate from the actual Klingon storyline. They've kind of merged the two together, which is pretty nice. Now, as you can see here, again, we are Dejan here, and I'll open up the character tab here so you can see what he's about. He is a KDF science officer, a warrior, and a liberated Borg Klingon male. Only reason I picked liberated Borg is because I spent the money for the lifetime subscription so long ago, I feel like if I don't use it, it's wasted. The other option is a Talaxian, and I highly doubt anybody would respect a Talaxian running around a bird of prey. So I went with a liberated Borg Klingon. But he is as basic as you can be. Does not have any skills or traits. Well, he has traits, but no skills. And he's got a blank inventory, no R&D, and no assets. So he is broke. As far as skills go, you can see that they're blank here. We've got abilities for tactical systems, engineering systems, and science and operation, and we'll go into them in more detail once we get skill points. We also have ground abilities for the science officer. As far as traits go, we have currently 3 active traits. Right now, it's acute senses, aggressive, and neural blast. Now, if I decide that I don't want to have these traits, all I need to do is just deactivate them, like this, and now I can choose from these available traits here and decide what I actually want to activate. For example, if I wanted to, let's say, increase, since I'm a science officer, I'd want to increase my buffs and heals, I would put that in there. If I wanted to increase damage to debuff targets, I'd put that in there. If I wanted to, say, increase defenses, I could put that there. And you can remove and add at will, doesn't matter. So I'll leave those alone for right now. With the stations, they'll come into play once we get bridge officers, so I'll leave those alone for right now, but they are coming soon enough. And as far as reputation, we have a long way to go before we need to worry about this, but reputation is used for special events. For example, special task forces, which are the kind of group PvE events. Nothing's available for us right now. So, let's put that out of our minds for the time being. Up at the very top, we can see our experience bar. And over here, we can see extra icons here for items like skill points, commendation XP, fleet credits. And as you get these items, you can, let's say, pop those open like this, and you can see them all appear here. It's actually not a bad idea to leave these open for right now, so you can see exactly what these are all about and if you have any points in them. Over here on the right hand side, this is our map section here, and we can see that this is a scan area button, how you find your anomalies, and how you direct yourself to your next objective. Here with this button, you can hail the Klingon Defense Force, the KDF, and request and receive missions, as well as turn in missions for reward. We've already gone through our character tab. We've already gone through our inventory. Mail system is as you would expect it. There are mails that are available here. Apparently, I already have spam in it. Now, the mail system is for an entire account, so not just for a single character. Obviously, that's why I still have mail in it. There's a social group section. Obviously, you can also change your settings in the game menu, and you've also got a help and support button here, which is glowing for me right now. I'm wondering why. Ah, I see. So, the game right now is currently in Delta Rising. It's the second expansion pack after the Legacy of Romulus expansion pack, and it brought about a whole bunch of new changes to the game, including the fact that the level cap went from level 50 to level 60. And let's find out exactly what's new in Delta Rising. So, like I said, the biggest thing is the level cap increase. The maximum level cap is now 60. We can explore the Delta Quadrant. There are captain specialization trees now. I'm not exactly sure what they are, but for every level between level 50 and level 60, a captain will earn one specialization point that can be spent in the new specialization trees. There are now Tier 6 starships. You can get them from the dry dock, or you can also buy them in the Zen store. There's a Starship Mastery system, along with Starship traits. There are upgrades available for Tier 5 starships. If you don't necessarily want to leave your Tier 5 starship behind, you can upgrade it. And you can get now Intelligence Bridge Officers. So there are new Hybrid Bridge Officer. There are new Q events and new difficulty levels. And you've got the usual upgrades, new zones, and new reputations that you can gain. So there you go. That's what's new in Delta Rising. A little overview, I guess. We can go into more detail once we get to that stage, basically. In the meantime, though, I think that's it for what I wanted to talk about. Let's go ahead and speak to the third officer here, Lieutenant Kagan. Now, Lieutenant Kagan, you're the third officer, and I'm the second officer, alright? I know how things work on a Klingon ship. Don't you think you can one-up me and take my spot? I've earned my spot. Don't even think about it.
Sir, we are nearing the end of the shift. I have logged the watch into the duty logs. I recommend approving them and the records of battle before Captain Gerlach arrives.
Oh, you recommend, huh? You recommend? Tell me, what would you do if I said no to your recommendation, I'm just kidding. Very well, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir. Everything awaiting your approval is on the console to the right of the main view screen.
I appreciate the work that you do, but I'm watching you. That will be all. So as you can see right here, we've got a highlighted area here. We can approve our logs.
Interactable items have a glow around them. Walk up and press F to interact with a console.
Very good.
You have completed a task by approving the duty logs. Return to your contact, Lieutenant Kagan.
All right. So we finished approving our logs here. Let's talk to Lieutenant Kagan now. I think that's the end of our shift.
I see the logs are updated and approved. I took it upon myself to make some adjustments to the standard disruptor target practice program on the holodeck. I think you'll enjoy the improvements.
Oh? Improvements, huh? Let me ask you. You trying to assassinate me? Is that what you're trying to do, Kagan? I'm just kidding. I look forward to it, Lieutenant. Kapla!
Captain on the bridge.
Oh, I see.
Approach the captain and press F to interact with him.
So the captain's arrived here, Captain Jurlek. And, I just want to compare myself to him right here so you guys can see the difference between us. Oh god, don't action roll. It's not needed right now. Maybe in the future. So, you may be wondering why I look so, I guess, basic compared to the captain. I chose this because I felt it nice to kind of go along with this story and build up Dejan's prestige through the use of items like added uniform accessories, maybe he'll grow some hair over time, perhaps. I didn't want to throw everything in the character creation system at once. I thought it'd be nice to kind of develop him over time. Right now, since he's a second officer, he's basically a nobody, you know? So, I don't see, like, the captain has fur, he has the shoulder pads. Dejan right now, as much as he hates to admit it, is not that prestigious, even to be at the captain's level. So that's just the mindset that we're in right here, just so you know.
Look, I see you kept my ship from blowing up during the night watch. Get to the racks as soon as you can. Your next shift starts in 6 hours. First Officer Duran and I will take it from here.
Understood, Captain. I will transfer command. Alright, now we need to head over to the holodeck by the turbolift. Right from here.
Your mini-map shows you where your objectives are. An arrow will appear on the mini-map if you are far away from your objective.
So you can see right here on the map, if we zoom in here, this is the area where our objective is. The arrow is pointing right down to it. There also can be an arrow on the map itself if we're that far away. Let's go ahead and program the holodeck.
Move to the center of the room and then target and destroy holo targets.
Alright, will do. Let's see what this guy did for the program.
In combat, right-click on a target to fire your weapon.
That's an interesting looking creature. Not exactly sure what it is. Could be Gorn? But the Gorn have already submitted to the Klingon Empire at this point in time in the storyline, so maybe not? Whatever, he's dead. They're not fighting back. I guess they're just target practice? That's not as cool. Let's try special weapon. Oh wow, alright.
While in combat, certain actions are disabled. Once you drop out of combat, more detail about ground combat will become available.
I see. So now we need to exit the holodeck. Apparently we can learn more about combat. Let's go ahead and do that.
Targeting. Lesson 1 of 6. Targeting can be accomplished via the tab key, which targets the next nearest enemy in your current field of view, or by left-clicking the entity you wish to target. Next lesson, primary attack.
So if I tab, it immediately targets the nearest enemy.
Primary attack. Lesson 2 of 6. Your primary attack defaults to the 1 key on your keyboard, or right-click your currently targeted enemy with the mouse. This will fire the basic shot of your weapon with a very short cooldown before you can fire again. Primary attacks are just that. the most primary attack with your weapon, and should be executed as often as possible. Next subject, secondary attacks.
So the primary attack on this weapon that we currently have, this disruptor here, disruptor bolt pistol, is a bolt setting, which does that. Alright, let's exit combat, please. There you go.
Targeting. Lesson 1 of
Done that.
secondary attack. Lesson 3 of 6. Your secondary attack defaults to the 2 key on your keyboard. This will fire the special mode of your weapon. These vary by weapon types and can include multiple target and area of effect attacks. These attacks generally have a cooldown before they can be executed again, and include either the expose or exploit properties. Next subject, expose.
So right now our secondary attack is the compression bolt setting. It also is an exploit attack as well. So it gives you increased damage for those targets that are exposed. That's that. No extra people here? Alright.
Target. Expose. Lesson 4 of 6. Many secondary attacks and other abilities can place the exposed condition onto your target. Exposed enemies have an icon placed over them, and are easier to hit and take more damage than normal. In addition, they are subject to additional effects from exploit attacks. Next subject, exploit.
So if an enemy is exposed and somebody uses an exploit attack, that enemy will now face massive damage. We have an exploit attack, we would want to have somebody with an expose attack to fire first, and then we would follow up. As I'm a science officer, more than likely in the future I'll be getting more exposed weapons for tactical officers and engineering officers to use their exploit weapons.
Exploit. Lesson 5 of 6. Many weapons have the exploit property on their secondary attacks. These properties take advantage of targets that have been exposed to deal massive damage. When you are carrying an exploit weapon, be on the lookout for any exposed targets. Hitting them with exploit attacks can take them out of the fight completely with just one hit. Next subject, flanking.
And that's what we have. We have the exploit attack for our secondary weapon.
Flanking. Lesson 6 of 6. Targets who are attacked from the sides or rear are considered flanked. When a target is hit from a flank position, they take more damage. This applies to you as well. You want to make sure you never expose a flank to the enemy. But if you can flank your enemies, you will do increased damage.
Always a common tactic is to get around your opponent, attack from the side or the rear, and you'll get more damage that way. Very good. Alright, nice little combat tutorial there. Let's go ahead and exit the holodeck. I like how I'm still carrying the weapon.
To sprint, tap the shift
Oh,
key
God.
while moving.
Alright. Apparently, future me just arrived right in front of my face. How you doing there, future me? I gotta say, if you look at the both of us right here, hold on. Back, turn around, and then do this. Alright. The game is projecting great things for us in the future, if you compare my current uniform to my future uniform. Again, this is all about storyline, and I kind of like the idea that I started off as this and end up like this. It's pretty cool, have to admit. Nice quirk there. Let's go ahead and talk to ourselves. Greetings, John. I know this is going to sound like the ramblings of a lunatic, but I am you, from your future, and I've come back in time to fulfill my destiny. A destiny I had laid before me when I was standing where you are now. Yeah, right. Who put you up to this? What are you? Some sort of hologram? I have no time for this foolishness. Scan me. I'm not a hologram or a photonic life form. I'm likely coded in chronoton particles. Think of your greatest ambition, your secret desire that only you know. I will prove that I am you. I know your secret. Well, we've already discussed what Dejan's ambition is to change the Klingon Empire from within and have it focus more on internal matters, especially in the sciences. So in order for him to do that, he really needs to lead his own house and eventually earn a spot on the High Council. That is his ambition. To lead my own house and eventually earn a spot on the High Council. A noble goal, and one I have yet to achieve. But the groundwork is laid, and it's only a matter of time. Oh yeah? Well, I'm still skeptical. As was I. After receiving my first command, I spoke with an agent from Temporal Investigations. They confirm this entire event occurred. You can do so too, or will do so. Huh. Alright. I'm gonna do just that. For now, what is it you want to tell me? Let us begin. There is a war coming. An ancient race known as the Iconians once ruled huge areas of space, including this one. They had the power of gods, technology far beyond what anyone else had. It took all of the Iconians' enemies rising up against them as one to defeat them. We thought they were extinct. Now we know we were wrong, and they've returned to take back everything that was once theirs. That's where you come in. Why me? What makes me special? Most of our warriors had no opportunity to gather intelligence on this race, their capabilities, and their possible plans. But I did. Throughout your career, we will benefit from the knowledge I'll give you today. When the war with the Iconians comes, the galaxy will have a fighting chance, thanks to what you've learned. That's why I've come back, so I will know what to do. Tell me everything I need to know. I can't just drop everything on you at once. That could cause a paradox. You'll still need to locate all this information yourself. I'll help guide you. Guide me? How? Take this. It's a Tesseract communication device. It allows me one-way communication from the future to you. There will be updates through that device as you progress through your career. Check it often. I think I've taken up as much of your time as I can. You must return to your duties. I understand. And I will not fail.
You are now a Delta recruit. You have a unique trait that gives bonus dilithium ore to you and your teammates.
Well, there you go. That's the bonus that we were talking about before. We get extra dilithium ore, which we can then use, preferably in the dilithium store, where you can buy a bunch of things, whether it's special items, EV suits, hangar pets, or other things. That's what you use the ore for.
As a Delta recruit, you will be able to earn many additional rewards as you complete later missions.
Fantastic. Well, there you go. We've met our future self for the very first time. Maybe the only time, although he is going to apparently communicate with us in the future. All of this, when I first played Star Trek Online, did not exist. The Klingons were bereft of any story. If I recall correctly, the Klingons were primarily PvP-based, and you only could be a Klingon after you reached, I think it was level 20 or 25 on the Federation side. So all of this content here was added post-game launch. It's actually a really cool thing to see for the very first time, and I appreciate the work that's been done here. Let's go ahead and go to the crew quarters, apparently, and use the turbo lift. Plus, the Delta recruitment program itself was a great idea. Brought me back in. That's how I decided to make this recording. All right. So, we are Looking around here. Doors open here. This is a lounge area. Chat with crewmen. Klingon's new holodeck program was quite a relief over shooting dots of light on the wall. Oh, I see. So, he actually used individuals rather than just dots. Well, I guess that's different, but they still don't attack you. Fortune favors the bold. We should go marauding. Some days it seems that with all the house infighting we do, our enemies sit back and watch us destroy ourselves. Yeah, John would definitely agree with that. I think Captain Jurlek knows something we don't. Let's see. Our disruptors gather dust in the lockers here. We need to find battle and soon. So these are individuals that definitely like a good fight every now and again. All right, so oh really? This is not only our rest area, but this is also our sleep area as well. All right. Let's see what we see here. Later that day.
IKS Sigma, this is Captain Jurlek. We are ready to receive the transfer.
Captain Jurlek, this is Captain Khadgar of the IKS Sigma. We're beaming over the Federation prisoner now.
Oh, really?
Prisoner received, Sigma.
Holy crap!
Shields! Raise shields! Battle stations! All through battle stations!
We're in trouble. We are in big trouble, folks.
Sometimes missions specialized to your career class are available.
Indeed. Alright, we are now at Red Alert. It looked like a Galaxy-class starship. I could be mistaken, but a Galaxy-class starship just attacked 2 bird of preys. Normally, bird of preys would have no chance against a Galaxy-class starship, if I know my technology right, so we are in big trouble. How much trouble? Find out next time on Let's Play Star Trek Online. Until then, this is J Squared John Jeremy signing off, saying so long and take care.